Black Friday is almost here, so today I'm going to go through some of the best items of gear for content creators, including cameras, audio gear, lighting, and software, so you can grab them on sale. And stick around because towards the end I'm going to share my favorite piece of software which I've been recommending to content creators for years, which I'm sure will be heavily discounted. And if you're watching after the sales have ended, fear not, because this is all still gear that I use on a regular basis and recommend to content creators whether you're looking to upgrade or if you're a beginner just getting started. All of the items mentioned in the video will be listed down below. And a big thanks to OBSBOT for sponsoring today's video. All right, so let's start out with the main event, which is arguably cameras. And the main camera that I use on a regular basis, which I really recommend watching out for Black Friday deals on, is the Sony ZV-E1. This is a relatively new camera. It's been out for around 6 months now, I think. And essentially it's a FX3. So if you know anything about Sony cameras, FX3 is a cinema line camera, but it's an FX3 sensor in a consumer level camera. And if you don't fully understand what that means, basically it just means you'll get really good image quality from a relatively inexpensive camera. That's what I personally love about it. You're currently watching Sony ZV-E footage. That is my main A-roll shot every single time. And I shoot the majority of my footage on the ZV-E1 as well. If you're a total beginner, you don't necessarily need something like this. You can just start out with your phone or something a bit more basic. But if you're looking to upgrade, then I highly recommend the Sony ZV-E1. If you're on a bit of a tighter budget, then I still definitely recommend the Sony a6600. This is the camera that I was using for probably, I want to say 2 years before I got the ZV-E1 in all of my main content. This has served me really well. You'll definitely be able to get these quite cheap, especially on sale or secondhand. But again, for Black Friday, keep an eye out for a6600 deals. These are also great for photography or as a B cam. I often use this as a B cam because this also shoots S-Log3. I often match it up with my Sony ZV-E1. So that's the second main camera that I recommend. Then after that, if you're looking for some action cameras, then I still definitely recommend Insta360. And there's really three main cameras that I recommend. The first is the Insta360 Go 3S. So this is a little action camera with a little pop-out camera body, which is super handy for shooting really unique shots of different types of things. This is also super versatile. You can use it as a B cam, you can use it as a vlogging camera, you can use it for interesting angles. There's all sorts of things that you can do with the Go 3 that I really recommend. If you want something even higher quality than the Go 3S in terms of footage, then I definitely recommend the Ace Pro 2. Now, I actually haven't used the Ace Pro 2 yet. I've only got the Ace Pro, but from what I've seen of the Ace Pro 2, I'm really impressed. I think it's a great upgrade from the original Ace Pro. And the Ace Pro is actually probably my favorite Insta360 camera. Even though it's not even 360, it's just a normal style action camera. But the image quality that comes out of this is really impressive. You can shoot 8K, which is crazy. And it's just super sturdy. So I'm super excited to get the Ace Pro 2. It might even be worth picking up the Ace Pro while it's heavily discounted since the Ace Pro 2 has just been released. But yeah, either of those two cameras I definitely recommend checking out. And then last but not least, we've got the classic Insta360 X4. So this is their flagship full 360 degree view camera. And these things are amazing. Honestly, they're so much fun to use. And one of my favorite things about 360 cameras is that you can shoot without really having to think about angling because you can do that all in post later. Especially anytime I want to shoot footage of me on my skateboard, I will use the X4. But again, it's just super versatile. You can use it for all sorts of things. Time lapses, hyperlapses, action footage, the list goes on. I have confirmed with Insta360 that they've got Black Friday sales, so I highly recommend checking out their website. They often have really big discounts on days like Black Friday, so check that one out. Next, in terms of cameras, if you're looking to upgrade your webcam, then I definitely recommend checking out OBSBOT, who are partnering with today's video. I've personally been using OBSBOT cameras for my own podcasts for the past year, and I can confidently say that the OBSBOT Tiny 2 Lite is a perfect addition to any content creator's toolkit. I actually researched quite a few webcams recently, and I still think the Tiny 2 Lite is the best value for money webcam out there. It's a compact little powerhouse that's built for top-notch performance, even in challenging conditions thanks to its half-inch CMOS sensor that excels even in low light conditions. It also boasts a super high 4K resolution, which is way better than the majority of laptop webcams out there. But for me, what really sets the Tiny 2 Lite apart is the impressive AI tracking capabilities and its really fast autofocus, which ensures smooth and precise subject tracking. So no matter where you are or where you move, you're always going to be in shot. Plus, OBSBOT has just released a firmware update enabling hand tracking that allows you to control the camera effortlessly with simple gestures, making it a breeze to adjust on the fly. For Black Friday, the Tiny 2 Lite is 20% off, and for my followers, there's an exclusive extra 5% off for a total of 25% off when you use the code OBSBOTAUT at checkout. This special discount is only available until December 31st, 2024, so make sure you check it out ASAP. Level up your content quality quality today with the Tiny 2 Lite, and make sure you check it out using the link in the description. All right, now moving on to audio gear. So first and foremost, I definitely recommend checking out Rode for their Black Friday sales. I am currently recording this video on a Rode pod mic, and this has been my main mic for probably around 6 months now. I've tested out quite a few mics over the past year, and this is still the one I've been coming back to. I think personally it gives me the best sound quality. However, it does require a little bit of audio knowledge because I do have to EQ it to get the best sound out of it. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit easier to use, then I recommend checking out the Shure MV7. I've done quite a lot of content on this microphone over the past couple of years, but for good reason. It's got really good audio quality. It's super easy to use. It's quite plug and play because it's got USB rather than XLR like the pod mic does. And Shure products in general are just really high quality. So highly recommend that. If you're looking for a wireless mic, I think the best one I've used for a while is the Hollyland Lark Max. I've personally just found that it's had the best audio quality. I've used this in my own content quite a few times. Plus it's quite intuitive and easy to use, easy to set up. I like the little clips and the magnetic clip design, which means you can clip it onto your shirt really easily. And I also like the little charging case. Like it's a really nice little unit, compatible with a whole bunch of different stuff because you can connect it via USB and via 3.5mm. So definitely recommend checking out Hollyland for Black Friday. Now, if you're looking for mic stands, there's kind of two main ones that I recommend currently. The first one is the Rode PSA-1 Plus. This is the mic stand that I've been using for the past 6 or so months, and I've really liked it. I think it's super high quality. Pretty much everything from Rode is really high quality. You can't go wrong, in my opinion, with Rode gear. However, Elgato just sent me their Wave Mic Arm Pro, and that's what I'm currently using in this video. And I think it actually might take the top spot for me over the Rode PSA-1, which I really didn't expect, to be honest. I've got a review fully comparing these two mics coming out very soon, so keep an eye out for that. But which one you decide to go with might just depend on your particular use case, which one you like the design of better. But again, check out both of these brands for Black Friday. If they've got discounts, highly recommend both of these stands. And then if you're looking for a smaller stand, something that can fit on your desk, definitely also recommend the Elgato Wave desk stand. This is also new from Elgato, but it's super sturdy, like really quite well weighted. Comes with really nice little silicone cable ties. So if you're looking for more of a portable desk mounted solution, then this is definitely a really good way to go. All right, let's talk about lighting. So the first piece of lighting gear that I recommend is the Moleus G200. And that's the key light that I'm shooting with currently. This is my main key light. I've been using it for, again, about 6 months. I absolutely love it. It's super powerful. It's bicolor, which is really nice. So it makes it a lot more versatile. It's extremely compact compared to my previous Aputure 120D, which I'm definitely a big fan of. It's also not too loud in terms of fan noise. So I highly recommend it. I think it's great, especially if you're looking to upgrade your main key light. In terms of a softbox, I've been using the Aputure Light Dome 2 for pretty much my entire content creation journey. You can still buy it. I reckon these are amazing light domes. Pretty much, I would say Aputure has the gold standard when it comes to light domes. Easier to set up, and as you can see, give you a great lighting effect. Another one to watch out for is C-stands. If you don't have C-stands, check Amazon for Black Friday sales. C-stands will last you pretty much forever, and they just come in so handy, not only for mounting lights, but also for mounting cameras and other gear. So I highly recommend investing in at least one. I don't think you need to go for the name brand ones. They're often more expensive just because they've got a brand name. I've gotten 2 generic ones from Amazon and they're perfectly fine. And then last but not least is the Cinepeer CX100, which is this little light just over there. That's what I'm currently using as my rim light, and it's probably my favorite light of 2024. And that's actually just because I find it so versatile. You can use it for directional light like this to create a rim light. You can add the softbox over the modifier to make it more diffused. You could literally even use this light as a key light. It gets so bright at 100 watts. Like, it's actually insane how bright this handheld little light gets. It's also bicolor, which makes it very versatile. I often use the bicolor feature on this light. And you can even get a Bowens mount adapter, so you could even hook this up to something like an Aputure Light Dome 2. I think it's just a great all-around, super versatile, really useful light that will always come in handy for content creators. Now, last but not least, let's talk about software. So the tool that I mentioned earlier that I have literally been recommending for people for probably 3 years now is Recut. And if you haven't heard me talk about it, then please go and check it out, especially if you make talking head videos like this. It's going to save you hours of time. I'm not joking. I reckon by now, after making content for 3 years, probably saved me weeks, if not months, I'm not kidding, of time editing. Because what it does is you just import your main A-roll footage and it will cut out all the silent segments. It's really customizable. And then from there, you export an XML and you just take that straight into your editing software and you can just go through and quickly delete all the bad parts. The alternative way to do this is to do it manually, and trust me, that takes hours and is not worth it. Next up, we've got Motion VFX. If you're a Final Cut or a DaVinci Resolve user, then I definitely recommend these. Just basically imagine, so with Final Cut, for example, you've got a whole bunch of inbuilt effects, transitions, overlays, that type of thing. Imagine a plugin that expands that library of transitions, overlays, effects, just like 100x with really high quality stuff. I've been using it quite a bit over the past month. I've been loving it. I highly recommend checking them out. They might have Black Friday deals where you can get a discount on your subscription. If you're wanting to enhance your content, then this is one of the easiest and most no-brainer ways of doing that. And then last but not least, I recommend Setapp. If you haven't heard of it, it's kind of like a Netflix for apps on your Mac. So rather than going and buying each of these apps individually, you can just get a subscription to Setapp, and then you've got access to hundreds of different apps that are really useful for all sorts of little tasks and big tasks. I recommend just taking a look and seeing if there's apps part of Setapp that you use already or that you've been wanting to use. I think it's just a much more affordable and easy to use solution than individually buying a whole bunch of separate items. And just quickly, a bonus app that I just remembered because I looked at my computer is Screen Studio. If you haven't heard of Screen Studio, then I highly recommend it, especially if you do screen recording type content. So if you do tutorials where you're on your computer, it just makes screen capture way easier. I've heard a whole bunch of different tools recommended over the years, but I've found Screen Studio to be the best and the easiest. So check that out for Black Friday sales. They might have some heavy discounts. All right, there you go. So don't forget to check out OBSBot using the link in the description, and all of the other items, like I said, they're all listed down below. And if you're looking for more in-depth reviews on pretty much all of these products before you decide to actually purchase them, check out my gear reviews playlist right here. Like I said, every one of these items I've reviewed in depth, so check that out right there.